Aaron Rodgers, expected to make his preseason debut tonight when he takes on the Steelers. Ben Roethlisberger, who of course was placed in concussion protocol on Tuesday, is with the team, but he won't play. Max, who's got more pressure on them this year? Would you go Rodgers or Roethlisberger?
Believe it or not, Aaron Rodgers has more pressure than Ben Roethlisberger. Guys, the Green Bay Packers are among the Super Bowl favorites. And guys, they're among the Super Bowl favorites every single year. What are Aaron Rodgers' outstanding offensive weapons? Like guys who are really, not just that they can play, every NFL team has some skills position guys who can play, but guys who you point to and say, he's an elite player at the position. It's not there. How about the defense? Defense for Green Bay, you really think that's a stout defense, right? No. It's Aaron Rodgers and Aaron Rodgers alone that makes them among the Super Bowl favorites every single year. He is expected to produce, not only at an elite level, but to demonstrate around the league, talk to other players every single year that he is the best in the business. And he does not have Roethlisberger's weapons. He cannot rely on maybe the best guy at two different skills positions. All of the pressure is on Aaron Rodgers, and a 500 record won't cut it. All of the pressure is on Aaron Rodgers, and making the playoffs and losing in the first round won't cut it. There's more pressure on him, maybe than anyone else. It's way up there.
I think your position is laughable, but I'm not laughing. Here's the deal. There is no way on earth that Aaron Rodgers is under more pressure than Big Ben Roethlisberger. First of all, I don't know who the hell you've been talking to about Green Bay being some kind of Super Bowl favorite. When I look in the NFC conference, there's three teams that automatically come up before Green Bay. There's the Philadelphia Eagles, there's the New Orleans Saints, and there's the Los Angeles Rams, who, by the way, is also on the Eagles schedule. Who's also on, well, that's what we're doing now, 10 favorites? Come on now, stop it.
I think their odds put them at the 10th, tied for 7th. I believe their odds put them tied for 7th for the Super Bowl.
That's what I'm saying to you. That's what we do. That's your definition of a favorite. You're in the top 7. I'm sorry. I mean, top 5. At least give me that. At least make the top 5. I mean, come on. That's ridiculous.
Of the whole league.
Philadelphia, New Orleans, Los Angeles Rams. You can throw Minnesota in there, too, because of their elite defense. What does Aaron Rodgers have to work with?
Can I throw one thing at you before you go further into Big Ben? Because there is something that he's playing for, and it's GOAT status. He wants to be the greatest of all time. He wants to be the best. He hasn't won a Super Bowl in 7 years. He's got a new offensive coordinator. He's got no Jordy Nelson. He wants a new deal. He doesn't have the greatest team around him. But just that alone, when we do the MJ LeBron debate, he wants to be better than like Tom Brady.
Molly,
how are you going to say that when the guy hasn't had a ring in almost a decade?
Well, I got to answer you, Molly. Both Max and I told you days ago, Aaron Rodgers would go 0-16, and everybody was still kicking his door to give him a new deal.
Don't focus on that. Answer the question about wanting to be the GOAT.
I'm answering the question. You the one that added it to your question. I'm answering your question. You threw it in there. I didn't ask you to throw that in there. Aaron Rodgers could go 0-16, and they were still kicking his door to give him his money. Secondly, GOAT status. You talk about GOAT status, but we're comparing the pressure to Big Ben Roethlisberger. Big Ben Roethlisberger has Antonio Brown, expected to have Le'Veon Bell, has an offensive line, has Juju Smith-Schuster, has a tight end spot. And other than the New England Patriots, the Pittsburgh Steelers, despite the Patriots, is considered by many to be a Super Bowl favorite coming out of the AFC.
Yes, Stephen A.
There's much more pressure on Big Ben than Aaron Rodgers.
The obvious answer is Roethlisberger, but it's not the correct answer.
What do you mean the obvious answer? They asked you.
On the surface, it looks like Roethlisberger for the reasons that you just pointed out. But think of what that means. He does not have to be perfect or even great to compete for a Super Bowl. Aaron Rodgers has to be like better than perfect. He has to continue to be the only player ever who can take a nothing team and take them to the playoffs.
I didn't say compete. I expect the Steelers to come out of the AFC. That's how much pressure is on Big Ben Roethlisberger to come out of the AFC. They have the tools, combined with New England being weaker. The Pittsburgh Steelers should be coming out of the AFC this year, more so than any time. Ain't nobody thinking about Green Bay coming out of the NFC.
Scale of 1 to 10. Scale of 1 to 10. 10 being the best quarterback you can play, right? What does Roethlisberger have to be to come out of the AFC on a scale of 1 to 10? A 7? Something like that? What does Aaron Rodgers have to do?
No. See. So you're going to ask me a question and then answer the damn question? I'm answering your question. No, it's not 7. He has to be better than that. He has been a 7. It wasn't good enough. He was a 7 a couple of years ago when they went to the AFC Championship game. He was a 7 last year when they had a good season and dropped 38 points on the Jacksonville Jaguars. He's been a 7 years in the past. That wasn't good enough. Big Ben Roethlisberger has to be better.
Okay, what does Aaron Rodgers have to be for them to win a Super Bowl? An 11 on a scale of 1 to 10? The margin for error for Aaron Rodgers bringing his team to the promised land is 0.
Okay, all right, whatever. The fact of the matter is everybody knows that Aaron Rodgers has questionable weapons to work with. Plus, he has a conference that's a lot to overcome. And perfection is required from him just for Green Bay to be relevant. In Big Ben Roethlisberger's case, we're talking about a Super Bowl appearance or bust. That's the difference.
And there are only a handful of teams, in spite of what you just said about Green Bay, there are only a handful of teams that are favored more than they are to get to the Super Bowl. And that's all on Rodgers' shoulders.
Who said this? First of all, 7 is 2 hands.
The odds
that's
makers
number
in
1.
Las Vegas.
Number 2, the last time I checked, you got 7 fingers on 1 hand? Last time I checked, at least a couple of hands. That's number 1. Number 2, what are we talking about here? According to who? I'm telling you, I give you 3, I gave you 4. I can give you 7 teams that got an edge over Green Bay. I don't agree with that.
Not according to the odds makers.
The hell with the odds makers then. Somebody needs to say it.
Everyone wants to ignore my GOAT argument. It's okay. I see what it is. We got to talk some NBA anyway,
he is
people.
The GOAT.
It's time to go.